Hello, 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 everybody. Listen, this would have been like a real live watch along. We would have been here for like our normal hour or two, but it's not going to be that. Hi, hello, welcome. Yes, I know my headphones have decided to peel on me. It's very disrespectful. But welcome to the channel. If you're on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, share, and post notifications on and share me with your people. If you're on Twitch, go ahead and hit that follow button and then come over here to YouTube and like, comment, subscribe, and share me with your people. Don't forget to hit those links in the description box down below. Vote.gov, vote.org. Make sure you register to vote. If you're able to, go get your passport. Also, call your senators and tell them that you are definitely against the SAVE Act because it's not trying to keep anybody from, you know, it's not about voter fraud. It's a modern day poll tax and trying to make sure that all these elections are rigged and that we can't fight back. So go ahead and let it be known that you're not down with that. And it's ICE today, tomorrow, the next day, and the days after that. But we are here for a recap of BTG. Why? Because I've already watched the episode that's airing today. Now, I thought the people down to the Facebook group was kind of tripping when they were like, oh, talking about this episode. I went and checked Paramount Plus and found out that yes, the episode that is airing today, that was supposed to air yesterday, but due to the holiday, they aired a repeat. They went ahead and put on the app. So we're here for a recap of everything. So it's Valentine's Day, right? Everybody's so in love. Everybody just so, oh, oh. I mean, not really. It's supposed to give that, but is it giving that? Nita is like, listen, she want to celebrate this holiday with her man, her boo, her husband, the love of her life, the father of her children. Still the man of my dreams. Still the man for somebody play Tamina Steele. Okay, that perfectly encompasses everything that Miss Nita and Daddy Dupree are to each other. He bought her saltwater taffy and some flowers, and the saltwater taffy is A for her to enjoy because he knows that chemo, he's done his research, is going to change her taste buds, but also it takes them back to a time where they took the girls on a trip and they had a saltwater taffy store and they ran up in there and they were just like obviously kids in a candy store, and so was Nita. So it's so beautiful. And Nita, hey Juju, this is a recap because I saw today's episode this morning. And no, I don't have it in. They just magically decided to upload the episode down to the app, so I got to watch it. So Nita decided for Valentine's Day, before her voice changes, because chemo is gonna do a lot to the folks. And remember, download the app Know Yo Lemons, okay? Know Yo Lemons, and keep a detailed record of your family history. And I'm not just talking about the good, the bad, and the ugly. I'm talking about the medical history as well. Bonita is like, listen, I know chemo is probably going to change my voice, and it's going to, as they get deep into it, it's not going to allow her to be her spry self. So she serenades Vernon for Valentine's Day. She give him a little yin yang around the house. She give him a little 1-2. Yes, that was her at his house. We're gonna get to that. She gives him a little 1-2, and she's just like, he like, if you could imagine all the fans that would lose their mind knowing that I got a Anita Dupree concert. Oh my God, they would go crazy. And she loves that man, and she wants him to know that she appreciates him and she loves him, and that they gonna spend this day and the rest of the days together, and they gonna live their best life. Ain't going back and forth for nobody. So they end up on the episode hugging and kissing and dancing and doing a little, a little 1-2 step. And it was like, oh, I hope that I find somebody who loves me, even though they're fictional characters. I hope I find somebody who loves me and is willing to go the extra miles, like Vernon is willing to go the extra miles for Nita, in my lifetime, and the next lifetime, and the next lifetime after that. But I also want to be black in every lifetime that I live, okay? Happy Black History Month. And also, Happy Black History Centennial. Okay, stop playing. So that's how Nita and them end up on their Valentine's Day. Now, Nicole and Kat are spending Valentine's Day together. It's a little Valentine's event. They are talking. We get a little bit more history on Kat and Nicole, where Anita started this to make sure the girls always felt like they had somebody or they felt loved on Valentine's Day. They would get Nita started getting Danny and Nicole things, and then that trickled down to their daughters. Well, obviously not just their daughters, their kids, because Martin, where they would get them something for Valentine's Day so they wouldn't feel alone, even though they'd be worried, oh, I'm not going to get a Valentine from anyone in school or anything else like that. The parents always had something for them to feel loved. And my grandma, she used to, I miss her so much. She used to do Christmas parties and Valentine's Day parties for me and my brother. I still have the big ass card she got me um, on one of the last parties we did. And also, every Easter, she would always get me a chocolate bunny. And even if I couldn't make it to her house when we weren't living with her, she would still have my chocolate bunny waiting for me in the freezer. That was my girl. I miss her so much. Loved her down. Still love her. But, I carry her name as my middle name, and my sister carries her name as her first name. So she's always rocking and rolling with us. Um, so Kat and Nicole are having a Valentine's Day, dinner, and we see that okay, it's not all bad with Kat and Nicole. They actually have their moments. It's not like, oh, Kat and Nicole just don't spend no time together. Kat and Nicole don't understand each other. That it's always been a bad relationship between the two. They're actually having a good time. Kat has stopped being judgmental of her mama. We love to see that. She's not judging her like she was before. She actually is like, listen, it was a lot to get used to, but I'm loving this. The whole revamp and everything. You got two men, new wardrobe, everything beautiful. They stop. They talk about the Chelsea Cat bag. So there's going to be a next round of Chelsea Cat bags coming out, and Nicole been carrying her, supporting. We love to see it. They talk about skin routines and everything. It's just like stuff you wouldn't be able to talk about if you were sitting down with a man. Because let's be honest, unless he was one of the whales, men don't care to hear us talk about skincare unless they into skincare. Um, and from what I've learned for some of the girls who are in relationships, some of they men be stealing their skincare stuff and be using up all their products, and then they like, well, hell, how this happen? Cause your man been using up all your products. You running through it like water, and he just every time you leave the house, but no, your skin, he wants soft, supple skin too. That's neither here nor there. So they're having a good time, but also they start texting their men up under the table. Okay, they're enjoying each other, but they're texting their men up under the table. Tater Thought isn't spending a Valentine's Day with Kat because he's at work and won't be able to see her until midnight. Now, Nicole mentioned something about, compromising is good sometimes. And Kat was like, I'm not the compromising type of person. That's just not for me. And Nicole said, anything you want in life, sometimes you're going to have to compromise. If you want something badly enough, you'll compromise for it. So when Tater Thought told Kat through text, I'm not going to be able to see you until midnight, is that okay? At first, she was going to say no. But then, after Nicole said what she said, she was like, I see you at midnight. And I was like, oh, look at you taking advice. Look at you taking advice. We love to see it sometimes. Kat texted him, Nicole texted both of her men. I said Kyle's was a little supple with his text. Carlton was a little dry. We don't care about you spending your Broentine's Day. What's that? Drinking beer, talking trash about women, watching the game? Don't care. Don't care about Broentine's Day. I mean, that's good that the bros have, spend time together and y'all each other Valentines and all that stuff. I love that. But ultimately, Carlton, I still think you're the impaler. So that's neither here nor there. We don't want to hear it. But Nicole and Kat end up like, girl, we both broke girl code. Cause Nicole was like, I'm sorry, I broke girl code. I'm over here texting both my men. And Kat was like, it's okay, I'm over here texting my man. But they had such a good Valentine's Day together, and we love to see it. Mind you, they was kind of being nosy because Martin and Smitty popped up because they at the country club. So Martin and Smitty popped up at the country club for Valentine's Day, and it was just like, oh my god, it's so sweet, baby. It was sweet up until a point. It was sweet up until a point. Let me tell you something. It was sweet up until a point because Martin. Okay, well, I'm just saying, Smitty got Martin some ties, and the ties were supposed to help him be younger than his opponent. Martin got Smitty a trip to Costa Rica, and they were supposed to be gone for a week, and they were going to, chill out and love on each other and just have a good time. Well, Smitty can't go to Costa Rica. Smitty said, "I hope these tickets is I hope these tickets are refundable because I can't go to Costa Rica." I said, "What you mean you can't go to Costa Rica? You freelance it. If it's about the kids, my mama will take the kids. She right over there. I call her right now, Mama. Like, what are we talking about?" Smitty said, "I'm an investigative journalist, and I'm in the thick of it. I'm not gonna say he's a thick little bit, but he's in the thick of it when it comes to this undercover situation with the impaler and the blood and the plasma, and he just can't leave his informant, you know, by himself. Anything could happen to that man." And Martin is like, "You in the thick of it, and this is the only time I have off until after November primary, like after the midterms, because I'm gonna be working 9 to 5 day and night. So what we talking about?" And Smitty said, "Well, we just gonna have to go after the midterms." I said, "My God." And I tried just gonna have to go after the midterms. It was a bone of contention there, and it's just like ultimately everybody busy. I think Martin was trying to be spontaneous and very romantic, and you got to give him points for that. But it sucks that at this time of him trying to be spontaneous and romantic, that Smitty is in the thick of something, and he just can't leave his people out there uh, flying in the wind, taking off for a week, because ultimately Jacob's life is on the line, Smitty's life is kind of on the line, and then his informant's life is on the line. We just can't pack up and leave now. But they decide to get, when things go, when things go, when things go left, we take that mother to the right. They brought it all the way back to the right. Obviously, like I said, Kat and Nicole saw them, and it's just like they went from having a real good time to it's like, oh my God. But then Kat and Nicole was like, okay, they back on the track. Okay, hallelujah. Oh, thank God. And they end up, they spend their Valentine's Day kissing and everything. And we know Martin and Smitty gonna do some other stuff. The good thing is Smitty is no longer treating Martin like street booty in his own home. That's a good thing. We love to see it. Now on to Vanessa. Vanessa got on a wig and she is dressed like she's having her best BDSM fantasy. Okay, we're some light, some fluffy, not too much. She looked good. I don't like the wig though. I don't like the wig. She could have had like a different hair color. Granted, she got a wig on. I don't think that particular wig was the wig for her, right? It's like, I don't know if I like this type of bang on you. Maybe you need a little swoop to the side. A little swoop to the side. Maybe you need that. Maybe you need a middle part bust down. Let's work on this. But she over here getting into her best BDSM fantasy. She'd have said, Timu Tony Soprano down. She is dressed in her best outfit, her best lingerie. Okay, some of her best lingerie. Okay, she is giving you maximum 100%. You gonna get all these goodies for Valentine's Day. But first, before she give you her goodies, she go ahead, sit in this chair. She blindfolds him. She ties him to the chair. She handcuffs him, and he like, "Girl, I can't do this. Okay, I got enemies. I got ops. I got people who are after me. I can't do this." And she was like, "You got security outside the door. Nobody's going to do anything. We're having fun." And they proceed to have fun because he can't touch, he can't see. He's just going to have to smell and taste, which once you lose certain senses, other senses are heightened. So they having a good old time, and she like, "You need to calm down. Ain't nobody popping up here to do anything to you. Calm down, little red Corvette. Everything is going to be okay. Slow down, slow down. I just wanna get to know you. Slow down." But eventually, after they have a moment in the sun where she done handcuffed him, blindfolded him, tied him to the chair, and they done did a little something, she takes all that off, and it's just like, "Listen, look at me. Don't I look good? You deserve a treat for being such a good sport." And it was like, was he such a good sport? Because ultimately, he was over here sitting up here complaining, talking about somebody gonna get him. And she's like, "I'm not gonna do nothing to you." And it's just like, is this foreshadowing for when she finds out that you ultimately took out her husband? She gonna do something to you? I wonder, as I wonder, as I wonder, as I wonder, is she gonna do something to you? But they end their Valentine's Day. Mind you, she's at his place because she also wanted to move in. And I'm also wondering, has she moved in already? Because he came in and he was like, "You did some redecorating." And I was like, "Ain't nothing redecorated in here. She just put up some, some Valentine's Day decorations, a little roses, not a rose, roses, like the petals, like the flower. Get your head out the gutter. Little rose petals, a little fire, a little wine, a little champagne or champagne for some people, a little strawberry, a little chocolate, you know, just a little something. Ain't nobody, the Valentine's Day special. But they end up kissing and they spend the rest of their night together. Now, Wig and Eva is at orphanages, and it seems like the more time Eva spends with Isaiah, the less time she has for her mother and her BS, and she might be pulling away. So ultimately, Isaiah might actually be good for the change in Eva because kind of getting sick of her, just letting her mama get away with stuff and going along with her mama's BS. Tired of it. So sick of it. Just like I'm sick of her and Cat fighting. Just like I'm sick of her and Cat fighting. So Wig is asking Eva, where's your man? The point of having a man for is so you won't spend another Valentine's Day alone. And she was like, he's meeting me here. Okay, we're spending Valentine's Day together. He's meeting me here. And Wig is going on and on about how, oh, y'all spending Valentine's Day in Orphe Jeans. You need to be at like the top tier restaurant. You need to get the best jewelry, the finest flowers, all these materialistic things. And Eva basically tells her, I'm not you. I don't want all that stuff. I don't want the materialistic things. I don't want all the money in the world. Because look at you. You got all the money in the world. Well, I don't think she has all the money in the world, but she got something. You have materialistic things, and what are you doing? Where are you? You sitting right here in front of me. No date. You ain't got nobody. She talk about, oh, so you want, she talking really down on Isaiah, little big brother, and Eva is like, I'm more of a girl who likes hand-picked flowers just because. Like, I'm not you. But Wig is trying to force Eva to be her. And it's just like, you can't force nobody to be you. If she won't hand-pick flowers coming to her every day, just because I love you, just because I care about you, just because I was thinking about you, then she do that. If her love language is acts of services and not being gifted anything, then that's what it is. Like, what the hell is the issue? So Isaiah, aka Little Big Brother, brings her some flowers, and he had bought them off of the choir or the glee club. I forgot if it was a choir or glee club, but they're raising money for their concert. And Eva said, when the concert happens, you gotta let me know. I want to go. I want to support them. So they're having a good time. And obviously, Wig gets dismissed because ultimately you're all about the materialistic things, and nobody is wanting to put up with that. Nobody cares about you wanting the materialistic things and thinking that somebody has to buy you a whole bunch of stuff to make you feel better about the day. Especially since you won't spend the motherfucking day alone. She ends up leaving Orphe Jeans, and before she does that, she calls and leaves a message from Maybach Music talking about, hey, I just want to call you, see how you're doing, and see if you're getting up to anything on Valentine's Day. And if you want to meet up with me, I'll be at Uptown wearing absolutely nothing under my coat. Okay, TMI, too much information. You're doing too much. But okay. Now, Little Big Brother had, him and Eva have their moment, and he bought her this necklace. And the necklace fits her aesthetic. I was like, this is a cute necklace. I would rock that necklace. But it fits her aesthetic. Not too much, but not too little. Just right for her. And she's like, oh my God, I feel so bad. You got me flowers. You got me a necklace. I don't want to be the person who keeps taking from anyone. And all I got you was, all I wrote you was this note. And he enjoyed the note. He enjoyed spending time with her. He also appreciated the fact that she not her mama, because he saw that whole scene. Like, he was sitting there for when, Eva had to read her mama down just a little bit. And it's just like, I mean, if you see this situation, the fact that her mama is batshit crazy and you're still here, I guess you're a keeper. They end their Valentine's Day off on kissing. Then we got, oh my God. Oh, I told y'all he's so damn easy. I've said this once, I'll say it again. Not reality. Soap operas blur the lines of fantasy and reality. And once again, if they have taught me nothing in this lifetime, is that men are so easy. EG comes up in a room and he got all these flowers. And while Triple H is happy for a while, she's like, oh my God, you know, she's just doing the absolute most. You got cold cocked in the face. You didn't get hit by a car. You didn't get rat-a-tat-tatted. You didn't get napped. Nothing happened, but you getting punched in the face. And while that is bad, you decided to do that to keep the energy and the space and the time and this moment and its power hour, we call upon the ancient power to keep that man's focus on you. That's what you did. So you doing all that, and he's like, would you feel better if we were in, our home? And she's like, no, I wouldn't feel better if we were back there yet. And they were talking about, I'm recapping today. I've already watched today's episode. Hold on. And they were talking about, oh, the man who attacked her and how Elon is doing everything he can. It's just like, first of all, she didn't get attacked by no man. She got punched by Lynette. But ultimately, EG spent a buku amount of money to buy her that house in St. Bart's. I said, I throw something at you. Why would you buy her that house in St. Bart's? And girl, that made her coochie walls flutter. Okay, she was having fanny flutters after that. Oh, she loved him now. I mean, this the worst thing you could have done, EG. She about to take you out. You bought her that house in St. Bart's. She's going to take you to St. Bart's and leave you stranded there and be like, oh my God, he fell overboard. EG gonna be missing. He done bought her that damn house in St. Bart's. Her fanny is fluttering and they Valentine's Day off just like everybody else, kissing and having a good time. I'm recapping today because, yep. So they put that episode for today on the app yesterday, and I was in the Facebook groups and the people were talking about it, and I was just like, what are y'all talking about? There was no new episode. Well, turns out they put it on the app already. And then we get to the grand resistance of the episode. Crewneck thought he had it in with the people at the bistro, and they got him a reservation for February 14th, 2027, not 2026. Now, him and Shanice figure and hope they'll be together next year, so they'll have plans next year and somewhere to go. And they have a cute little moment down to the restaurant, and they get uptown. Now, Danny and Andre come in, and Danny is thanking Andre for loving her, for supporting her, and being her rock, and just allowing her to get back to herself. She loved her some him. And she seems to be standing on business when it comes to EG. Now, when she walk in, when I walk in the room, all eyes on me. I'm thinking of the Julie and the Phantom song. All eyes was on Danny. Okay, now Danny and Andre and Crewneck and Shanice and coming face to face, and everybody's very much complimenting people. Shanice is complimenting, Danny. Danny is complimenting Shanice, and Shanice is like, oh, I've seen you, at the hospital when you visit Nicole, and she was like, girl, I also come there to get the dirt, because don't nobody know nothing about Garland Memorial and everything that's happening all up and through the system except for Shanice. So everybody's having a good time. Now, she compliments Shanice's dress. I like Shanice's hair. Other people didn't, but I did. She compliments Shanice's dress, and Shanice is like, oh, Crewneck picked it out. And she was like, I didn't think y'all were at the part where y'all was picking out clothes for each other. And Shanice is like, oh my God, why would I do that? I know you, as Nicole's sister, don't want to hear about this. And Danny was like, honestly, Nicole has moved on. I'm happy that Crewneck has moved on. Him and Andre are family, so we're always going to be around each other. So we need to, everything needs to be good. Everything needs to be good. And Andre says, well, then, y'all need to come over to the house, invite Shanice and Crewneck over to the house for dinner. And Crewneck is like, oh, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. And Danny was like, if you want your life to be happy and you want to be good, just go ahead and agree. Just do what I say. When I was your not daughter-in-law, when I was your sister-in-law, you knew how this operated. Now I'm your niece-in-law. Go ahead and just agree, because this is how this works out. Now, as they talking and having a good time, and everybody is living their best life, in walks Wig, and she goes to the bar and she sits down, and it's just like, ew, what a damper on the mood. Also, Danny is happy. She was like, I'm very much happy that you moved on and put an end to whatever that thing was with Wig. Okay, I like Shanice. You moved on with somebody I actually like. So, hallelujah. See, that's a glowing review from Danny and Kat. And while Nicole might feel some way, she's definitely happy that it's not Wig. Wig come in, sets up the bar. She in her best hoochie wear, and she calls Maybach Music, and they talking. And Maybach Music basically tells her, "We're not a couple. Why would you expect for us to spend Valentine's Day together? We are not a couple. On top of that, I'm still working my shift. I just can't take off and come see you." And it's like, why would you think we would spend time together? She's like, I was just trying to be spontaneous. And it's just like, girl, no. So he ends up hanging up on her. And it's just like, ew. Ooh. That's rough. That's rough. Now, Shanice said, listen, in order for this Valentine's Day to go good, I'm just going to need to go ahead and lay down the law when it comes to Wig. And Danny was like, listen, she has continuously been terrorizing my parents and did too much. So I got your follow up. I got your backup. And they go over there, and a lot of people are like, oh, the reads were corny and weak. And it's just like, child, please. The comeback was not great. They was tag teaming her. It wasn't no like, oh my god, broke her down so bad. Well, she not gonna let y'all see her break down so bad. But they go over there, and Shanice was like, I hope you're gonna keep your panties on this time. And she was like, well, they're already off. I might as well show Teddy Weddy to see what he's missing. Mind you, Andre and Crewneck are right there. And Shanice told her, yeah, that's not gonna work out. Danny get her, then Shanice get her, then Danny get her, and then Shanice get her. Baby, they had her. They was tag teaming her, and she got up and said, "I both of you trifling hoes choke on candy hearts." And it's just like, girl. She walked up out of there. She was very upset, honey. Andre and Danny have they moment at Uptown, and then Shanice and Crewneck have they moment at Uptown. Now we end the episode with Wig going back to her hotel room, and she is in her robe. She done pinned her hair up. She done took her makeup off, and she's looking at the mirror, and she's looking like really sad and upset. And then she throws a vase or some type. She throws something at the mirror and breaks the mirror, and she's crying. And it's just like, yeah, this time last year, you showed up in town and you were doing all this scheming, plotting, and planning, and it was doing the absolute most. You broke up Ted and Nicole's marriage by way of revealing that big ass secret and using your daughter as a weapon. Mind you, Eva is a grown adult, so at any time she could have stopped what was happening. She just chose not to. But you've done all of that to get Crewneck, and he does not want you. He does not want you, and you cannot fathom the fact that even though he wouldn't shut Ish down when it came to the situation, like what was happening with Nicole, he's done that with Shanice. That should tell you something. That man don't want you. He actually despises you. He rues the day he probably laid down with you. But that was his choice to make back then. So you don't have Crewneck. You thought you were going to have him. Maybach Music, you don't have him. First of all, that's a married man. Second of all, that's a man with a job. And third of all, y'all not a couple. So I don't know why you thought you was going to spend Valentine's Day with him. Then your daughter told you about yourself. She said if you weren't worried about being materialistic and wanting money and wanting someone to take care of you and supplement your income and all of that, she didn't say it that way, but that's how I heard it. You wouldn't be alone for Valentine's Day. And it's just like, ooh. And let's also add, if she wasn't a cantankerous grunch, she also wouldn't be alone for Valentine's Day. And then when you look at the list of people who are coupled up this Valentine's Day, Vanessa and Timu Tony Soprano, Tomas and Kat, even though he's at work right now, they're going to spend midnight together. You thought you broke Nicole down, but Nicole got two men. She could have anybody she want. She got two men. One, two. Count them up. One, two. They could take her to Paris. They could take her to see the Eiffel Tower right now. And then actually take her to Paris to see the actual Eiffel Tower. Nicole has two men. Didn't have nobody last Valentine's Day. Now she is married. She happy and she has her career back. Crewneck used to be married to Nicole. Now he's dating Shanice. And they planning on being together next year for Valentine's Day and down to the bistro. Eva has her own man. Even though EG and excuse me, Triple H are a match made in hell, they together. He done bought her a house in St. Bart's. And she's still trying to slowly take him out. Jan got her man. Ashley, Vanilla Bean, got fine, sexy lab tech Grayson. They done probably did a little yin-yang around her apartment for Valentine's Day. I mean, Derek ain't got nobody unless he hooked up with Cheryl. Jacob and Naomi have each other. Madison and Chelsea have each other. Martin and Smitty have one another. Little Jehoshaphat and little Tiberius are together. Who else am I missing? Child, Randy got his baby mama, possibly Mona, and Lynette on the hook. So he got options around these parts. Nita and Vernon have each other. Anastasia probably has one of them escorts. So, as I run down the people who don't have nobody or haven't spent any time with anybody, because not even just in a romantic situation, Nicole and Kat spent Valentine's Day together and gonna go meet up with their respective people later on. You also have no friends to spend Valentine's Day with, to have a Galentine's Day with, because you're miserable. Where the hell is Peaches? Peaches probably got somebody up in that hospital, a friend or a man. That should tell you. You done did all the scheming, plotting, and planning and just been mean, rude, and nasty for basically an entire year of this show at this point. And you end up on Valentine's Day alone with nobody, being told about yourself not once, but twice. Not twice, but thrice. Not even thrice. 4 times. Got told about yourself 4 times. And now you alone in your hotel room with nothing going on, crying and throwing stuff and breaking stuff because this is what you set yourself up for. I say I should feel bad for her, but I don't. Because we've seen her do so many terrible things to people. Hell, Laura even still got that terrible boyfriend of hers. Caroline probably got her somebody. See how honestly all this could have been avoided had you been a nicer person and had you just told Nicole what it was and not scheme, plot, and plan and set out to destroy her life because you claim she took your life. See how all this could have just been a whole lot easier for you. You could have had friends. You could have had a man. You could have just been happy. But you don't want to be happy. But that was today's episode that was already on the app that I watched. Everybody had a good time for Valentine's Day that we got to see except for Wig. Crewneck and Shanice, Danny and Andre, Kat and Nicole, Martin and Smitty, Nita and Vernon, Vanessa and Timu, Tony Soprano, and E.G. and bought Triple H a house in St. Bart's. You should be ashamed of yourself, sir. But that was it. That was all. I don't have no more to give y'all for this, okay? But we'll be back here live for an actual watch along because the episodes should be, lined up for what they're supposed to be. And hopefully they don't put another new episode up there and then I just come here and recap it. But I hope y'all enjoyed this. Hope y'all had a good time. Don't be like E.G. buying houses in St. Bart's for people and spending buku money to get the house while your wife is trying to take you out. Don't do that. Don't do that. And with that being said, I love everyone. I hope y'all have a good rest of y'all day. If you're on Twitch, hit the follow button and then come over to YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, and turn your post notifications on and share me with your people. Danny and Andre did look nice. And if you are on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, turn your post notifications on and share me with your people. What are we doing? Okay, hit those links in the description box down below. Vote.gov, vote.org, call your representatives, call your senators, call local city council. Let them know you're not down with the BS that they're trying to pull. call the developers who are possibly trying to sell buildings and things to ICE and tell them how you feel. And it's also ICE today, tomorrow, the next day, and the days after that. Happy Black History Month, and also Happy Black History Centennial, because it's 100 years of Black history. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. And be looking out for my YouTube shorts. Be looking out for that. Be looking out for some more lives. But I do have live tomorrow. We have some YouTube shorts I'm going to upload today from Raw yesterday, and then one about Joe's college road trip. I'm not going to do a full recap of it. It's definitely going to be a YouTube short. Um, and then I have a video that I do need to edit, like something I recorded yesterday that needs to be edited. And then tonight I'm going to be doing YouTube shorts um, for NXT, so be looking out for that. And with that being said, I love everybody, and I hope y'all have a good rest of y'all.